Hi, I'm Vex, and this is a video on how heroic resources work in the Codex. Before we start, I just want to make it clear that the Codex is still in active development. Therefore, some of the things that we see are not the final implementation. That's the look, the feel. Mainly what I want to show you today is the functionality. As a player, I have my tactician selected here, and I want to show you how heroic resources are tracked and automatically added through various phases within the Codex. So the number of heroic resource can be found in two places. So we are not currently in combat, so you can see here that my focus is currently 0. You can also see that in the action panel down here. When I start combat, I have 3 victories, and so you can see that my start of combat trigger here says that it's +3, and I would expect when combat starts for this to increase, or this to increase by 3, and then this to also increase by 3. So I have set up a little demo combat here. So a tactician is where I want to show you how the triggers automatically work. And so I've got myself, I have the start of combat, the start of my turn, a damage to a marked enemy, so I need an enemy to mark, and an ally using heroic ability. So I have my shadow here. I've set myself up as 3 victories so that you can see kind of how all of these will proc as their conditions are triggered. To start things off, I'm going to start combat. So I'll select everyone and draw steel. Monsters go first, which is not what we want, so I'm going to manually change it over to the players. And I want to show off the tactician. So to start with, I'm going to start my turn as the tactician, and you can see that my heroic resource, so at the start of combat, I had +3, start of my turn, +2. My current heroic resource, which is focus, is 5, and you can see that here in the action bar as well. So I want to mark my enemy, so I will mark him. And now, when the marked enemy is damaged, I should get, so the first time each round that you or an ally damages the target you have marked, you gain 1 focus. So just to show that this definitely does work, I'm going to have the ally do it. So we're going to ignore initiative a little bit just so I can demonstrate how this works. So we're going to have the shadow close the gap. We'll use fade. Roll the dice. Got the edge because we're marked. And a tier 3 result. That's lucky. So 12 damage, and I can shift 3 squares. But what you'll notice here is that I now have 6 heroic resource, and damaging the marked creature has given me +1. If I wanted to take this a step further, I could have the shadow go, and I will roll for my insight. 1, unlucky. Now I'm the shadow, and I want to use one of my heroic abilities. So he doesn't have anything at the start of combat. We've got 1 insight, so I'm going to show you how you can manually edit this to increase it. I can just click on the number here, and then I'm going to say give him 6, then press enter. He now has 6 heroic resource. If you want to spend it, you can either use the abilities, it'll automatically spend. You could click in here and edit it again, or you can just individually click this button and it will go down. So we're going to use a complete overkill coup de grace on the goblin here to kill it, just to show the final trigger for the tactician. So we'll get he's marked, so we'll get the edge. Tier 1 this time. Roll for damage. You can see here my heroic resource for the shadow has been spent, so I'm back to 0 because I spent a 5 cost and I had 5 before the attack. And if I go to my tactician, my allies used a heroic ability, and that is all of my potential triggers for focus have procced for this round of combat, and I have 7, and we have won the day. So what I also want to show in here is that for each of these triggers, I had it entered a chat window for the start of combat, focus gain 3. Start of turn, focus gain 2. When the shadow damaged the enemy, damaged the marked enemy, gave me a focus. When the shadow started their turn, they gained some insight. And when the shadow used their coup de grace heroic ability, it gave me a focus. So it's all tracked there. You can also see that in the log here, if you hover over, that the recent changes to the focus as well, and where that was coming from. So that is fairly straightforward, and that's currently how the triggers for heroic resource work in combat. It's very, very freeing to have all of that happen automatically without you having to worry about it, and it makes for a great experience. One last thing. If for whatever reason, generally because the codex has not got everything automated yet and your trigger did not occur automatically, you can manually cause that trigger to, and it's marking it off as happening for the round or the encounter, as well as automatically giving you the required amount of resource. You can trigger that manually by right-clicking on the trigger in the character panel, clicking trigger manually, crosses it out. I gain an additional focus here. Please, if you've got any questions, let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.